So in this video I want to substantiate the US crisis. US. And by the method. International economics. To conduct an analysis of territories and talk about the arriving economy. Two, understand international economics. You also need to know the history of economics. Here is a brief extract of it. We look. Let's take for example, this cycle that is now repeating. This one here. The 71st year. Abolition of the gold standard. History of money. This. We will have. This is me. This is you. Before we knew how. Where are these two-way arrows? To agree. I was a producer of one good. You were a producer of another good. To me, I like economics. You can like anything. You need to do what you like. When we did mutual exchange between it was with heart. This was a very good working model in the world. Then an external factor came that took a natural resource, stone, which they called gold, like a lottery right, and said that now your mutual exchange will be like this. You will buy gold mining from the bowels of the earth and pass. I will pass and not someone will mine. Because we don't have such qualification. Who are you? He will mine this gold here. He will do this here. Gold mining. And then began. Well, commodity relations began here, sort of. Here commodity money relations began. Money appeared. But gold, you know. It's good, of course. But there's little of it. And each economy accumulated gold There was a gold reserve. Gold treasury. These were the strongest economies that existed. On the international market, everything else is shit. And this here. The economy said. Started prevailing. Says this system of relations. It was somehow. Doesn't work, and yes. Difficult to mine gold is needed. Let's take paper. With a dead US president. Toilet paper. And say that now your mutual relations will be built like this here. A new economic model appeared. What kind? What are its advantages? That you can do missions of money. Financial resources. Endlessly many. This is called public debt. USA. Why are we working so slowly? Oh. Here it is. But no. There are somehow in this model other currencies. And when they try to do it like this here, like what Russia is doing now, as a result, their inflation grows. Inflation. Just. Why? Because these are closed loops of printing money, provoke its devaluation. Because this money here, there is none here, none here, none here, none here. Well, this money is everywhere. Here, this money here has a closed loop. Printed money circulating and circulation on this continent. They are different. And in the whole world they are different colors. Therefore, when a Russian thieving oligarch arrives here with this money, he is arrested because it is immediately evident that it is red. Therefore, where he sits in this rainy region with his money, well, here he started walking too. But here all his accounts are blocked. And here are blocked. And here are blocked. Here accounts are not blocked. But the money must be green. Why does it work out like this for them? And for all the others? It does not work out to do it this way with marbles. No one else can do it. Different money. Inside is a green money. It limited in quantity. It does not increase inflation. And all that is printed goes here. And here. A lot of these monies happens. That is, they print. And inflation spreads throughout the world. We carry on our shoulder this printing of money, so that it is good here. Therefore, this scheme does not work. For now, only such a scheme well, here is before we had this paper attached to the gold standard. But there is not enough gold to ensure such a scale of paper money. Such a scale. It was decided to detach this paper from this bond to break the link. Well, how? So that everyone listens. How to do it? So that these papers were everywhere. How to do all this, and still without the gold standard. We look at the year 71st. What was before the 71st year? What year was it? 45th. How this crosses on their tongue. What was in the 45th? Let's get it out. In the 45th, the Eurasian continent was destroyed. All these countries were ruined. Ruined all these countries. There was a mass conflict. Let's remember what was with Japan. Where my geography is bad here. Japan's economic miracle was ruined. Both economically and militarily, you can read about it. Militarily, with China so that the continents were carved up, and these papers were stuffed everywhere. In 1945, it was most difficult to stuff them into this continent. These obedient ones. These obedient ones. These obedient ones. Here the Slavs are disobedient. Sit. Some Slavs, like Germans at all, did it in 10 years, were the brightest fascists, then the brightest communists. But believing in history, that people generally have some values. Question: when was the paper stuffed here? In 1945 it did not work out. We did not stuffed it after 1991, after the collapse of the USSR. Now it is here. Here it was stuffed, saving economies, after the destructive actions and the war. They gave everyone this paper. Just printed it, and gave it, and for what? It's not a problem. It's just toilet paper. It's easy to print. The cost is very low. It's not gold to distribute. And after the successful operation in 71, the gold standard was abolished. Explain with fingers. So, well, and what's next here? Well, then what? Nothing works. The whole model does not work. Everyone sits on 6 months. This scheme, printing toilet papers, no longer works. There is no more this economic model. None. Normal cycles. Economic model. Already in the cycle, interfere in every ways pandemics. Artificially. The economy is fully manipulative. The stock market is fully manipulative. On the stock market, only US contractors win, who have insider and smart people who study quantitative analysis. No technical analysis will work for you. 50% of the market is hidden in dark pools. A new one is created, then, a new economic model. Here a stud is created, here horse. That ether. Then these finally catch up. Create ruble. Here crypto yuan. And there in Ukraine something else too. Here this is ether, it is England. And here this crypto euro. This player. Oh. What is here? And general monkeys. Live simply with money. Which here recently only try to learn. I don't know why overall not interested. Here generally just everything is abandoned. Here coin columns have already been introduced. They are quoted. Better than more. The dollar course then. There is here this cryptocurrency. Costs more than dollar paper money. Already. Then this here. This is already a tested model. Here it was tested. What we see here, economies destroyed 80% inflation. Many years already. There were good regions, built at the level of Moscow, Argentina. Brazil, there everything is bad, pushed through a bill that now people can sell their kidneys. People become a commodity too. In order to ensure this scheme here, to have money, people will sell kidneys in order to use toilet papers. Well, this is no longer toilet, it is now digital. Why digital? Yes, it is more convenient to control. If here you can put here in the cash. Then this you will not put in the cash. Only this here. Bitcoins then add of crypto world. Is successful. Look how a successful crypto world ad. He will be needed for me. Why? That from CDC. All these years, Russia said that we will not use crypto economy there. But what was happening? Automation. From CDC camomiles. Oh, how we automate worldwide. Here we have already developed. Development is underway. Pilot models have already been launched. Models of this economy. In Kazakhstan, I see. In India. A certain percentage. Keep here. So it does not happen. Like that. They need to return what happened in 2008. But there is nothing to return. So these norms here. Keeping organized capital. New Basel. So here is the new economy for you. This paper here. Papers. No more. There will be no more of these papers. Oh. Where is it? Crypto is a coupon of the modern world. Who are our oligarchs? Those who bought coupons. New economic models. Main developers sit in Iceland. Oh, how convenient it is. I have a dacha there. What if you have AAA? This here. Paper. In your savings. So if you are unwanted in the first, it is visible quantity. Because you can no longer stuff under the pillow. And in the second, it has reverse transaction. That is if you do not like someone here. Your paper will be taken back. Or here, I don't know. Somewhere may not like. I may not like someone. But I'm not $100 bill and not from 50. To like everyone. Your value orientations are shifted. To money. You don't have a relationship model. For many. Therefore, I don't like you. So territory analysis. Well, what kind of song is it from all this? There are war maps that I sent you. There are implementation dates of their plans. The video at all. But why don't you understand all this? Because when military actions were carried out in each territory, no one country signed a peace treaty. Each country capitulated. What does a surrender treaty mean? Germany before 1945 was a prosperous country. Hitler a profit study. The most prosperous economic model was in Germany. People lived rich happily. There were orderly power institutions. Infrastructure was raised. Auto industry. Roads. Someone was shoving their banks everywhere here. Here is the forest. With their banks, with their media. Hitler fought in 81 or something. Or participated somehow. And he understood everything. He knew it would fit. He did not let in American banks and American media into Germany. It turned out then. What it turned out. That successful economy was no more. Germany signed a surrender treaty. All these relatives of Hitler there became eunuchs in short. History is written. It was written. And so with each country. Where expansion was. Everywhere were surrender treaties signed. What does a surrender treaty mean? This is bank control. And media control. So, people get into the loop. Into the information loop. Or ye. Source. Information field. Information field exists. Information field is created by this system. Well, what here? Boxes movies. In psychology, this is called predictive persuasion. Good series, Black Mirror. Even the first episode is good. Good filter on everything good. They start with a very good filter. Intellectual selection. So this is predictive persuasion. VIT. This method is used here, and you sit in the loop and believe in everything, exit the loop, and start understanding. Globally, this picture is formed while you are in the loop. This is a slave. Who is a slave? A person who is forced to work constantly. For him to work constantly. What does he need? Take capital. He constantly needs so he does not accumulate. Take capital scheme. Take capital. And a person constantly works. And such workers. These workers. Very many. They need to manage. Manage. If you immediately take and say, guys, tomorrow the war is again on the continent. Here we will transition to crypto. So you will constantly work. We will take your capital. If you find out all this, you will exit the loop and realize, if there are many, you will become disobedient. No one wants disobedient slaves. Then you need to poison with warriors. Take money. Medical poisoning. Create cataclysms. Can ignite something there. Called climate weapon. Make floods. Or can ruin their psyche. Call themselves chairs. Raise children like that. Yes. What else can be? What else can they do there? And there. These are economic figures. These are governance tools. Torn. But if you take it and launch everything at once. Here. In this system. Which practically now happens. With Slavs. Noticed in Russia cancelled pandemic. And stab children with vaccines. And no LGBT. And when this all happens at once, that people can wake up, become this here. Therefore all this happens in cycles also. Here we said some nonsense. News background dropped, people in stress. This is Delta time here. Most precise point. To move around the world, after news surge. When it is very quiet for a long time, we cannot move on this wave. Move. Because a new wave surge will happen. But the wave is like this. If you remove perspective, it will be a line. Don't look at it, then it is up. It's down, it's just an information wave. Field. If you do it constantly. Like this here. Not going with the wave. Just hammering all this. Such situations happen. This connection still remains. This is bad in the system. Therefore, the information system acts like this. Like this. Therefore, looking at military maps. According to the analysis of the European continent territory, it's only Montenegro. Not Europe at all. And Serbia I already signed today. That Turkey will deploy something there in the USA. Some NATO troops there. Look at the map of military base deployment. USA I sent you. And for now somewhere it is Asia. Very good. In Altai. At customs. And there everything has already been bought. There's such price growth now, for real estate. Because it is safe here. Survive this transformation of the arriving economic model. Here it is forbidden people. Have already become commodities. Europe all this LGBT. Here if you have kids, here there is no LGBT, still, Montenegro comes. You will then take the child not to a gynecologist and urologist, but to a psychiatrist. Because it's unclear how to treat a stool or a table. Work at. When it is with the human body. Your age will not be changed. How will it be for you? At 60 you will not be able to write 20 in your passport. In the digital passport. With fingerprints of yours. In your biometry. With AA. Digital. Vaccination shoving. What they did. Here they calmly shoved everyone. Here everything is automated. Won't fly from Dubai, from Bahrain, won't fly from anywhere, if you don't have a vaccine passport. And from Canada it was impossible to fly too. If you don't have a vaccine passport. In Australia they took all weapons and shoved all kids. In Europe here too everyone was shoved here. Selectively. Lucky. Here. Read about Pfizer consequences. All documents are already open. They bought who? All Russian Organization of Health. No good vaccines remained. Even children's. Everywhere it's already on the shelf. And unfortunately, the next plan is such an artificial little thing that I wrote about here. The only way out is the sea. Here it is very difficult. Here it is very difficult. Because, well, waves are elemental. Here you cannot exit. Here you cannot exit. Military ships stand. There are exits here. Remember how they ruined China. Pandemic are tried models. Economically, China will come to every home. They did for closing people, whole skyscrapers, and fed them deliveries of products for all. Introduce digital rating. Here it works for China's digital rating. And now people can get a loan there. Generally something. From how they cross there at traffic lights. From what kind they are. Obedient. All oligarchs left China. All the intelligentsia. Well, here is an article somewhere pedophiles return. Oi 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 oi, in short, here is such a map we have. Wyatt X. Predictive persuasion. How not to fall for predictive persuasions. I'll try to tell then. In the next video. Here I think I told everything. Hopefully.